just went down, me walking out of there. I still see them on your face, baby. So many tears. And I remember feeling like I'm about to explode. Got to get out of here. Yeah. It's like my sun won't shine. Like my sun won't shine. It's like my ride don't roll. My ride don't roll. It's like the only one thing I love don't love me no more. It's like my
Let me breathe, baby. Let me breathe, baby.
This the shit that we on. This shit that we on. This shit that we on. This shit that we This shit that we on. Get the shit that we do. Claim niggas like animal, come riding out like the zoo. Caged up, let us loose. Caged up, let us loose. Black lives on the matter, nigga, when you're lying dead on the news. Gotta paint that blue. Gotta paint that blue. Cops kill your blood, niggas, I ain't talking about pyro. Better get a clue. Better get a clue. Wake up, my people, this shit can happen to you. Treating us like fools. Keep killing our youth. Spreading lies in our schools. They ain't telling the truth. Fuck all of they rules. Fuck all of they rules. Signing off as a new nigga with a hat or two. Now, this shit that we on. This shit that we on. This shit that we on. This shit that we
Ain't trying to just sit around and get about everything we going through. Ain't trying to live life and thank God like who the fuck is you? Ain't trying to feel years on earth. I done shed blood, shed tears on dirt. Fighting these fools trying to smear my worth. On a set trip trying to clear my turf. Who are you, what am I? Confused, we must wanna die. We killing ourselves as another crime. Cops killing our brothers, they killing our brothers, and I know why. They got us killing ourselves, that ain't no lie. Look, let me break it down for you. First slave master, next employed. No 40 acre, no mule, no noise. Them type of eyes where the God destroys. Blood pressure makes diamonds, we shine and grind and we reach our goals. Searching for worth without selling soul.
This the shit that we on. This shit that we on. This shit that we on. This shit that we
to the side, just to the side. They take niggas' lives, kill niggas' pride. Situations get minimized. Criminal history emphasized. On the victim they penalized. Officers don't get penalized. Big business is an enterprise. Social media they hypnotize. That's what people don't realize. Jail and slavery the same thing. Gotta look at what it symbolized. Still going through the same pain. About time that we improvise. Should we Nat Turner or Dr. King? Should we rise up or live the dream? Should we stay quiet, don't make a scene? Go Malcolm X by any means. Pick a sides, no in between. Nigga, pick a sides, no in between.
lot of shit going on, you know what I'm saying?
We got homie on this shit.
Mitch match, my designer Mitch match. Don't fuck back with big racks. You can't get your bitch back. Better call dispatch. I'm flexing with no six pack. She broke you like a Kit Kat. No cap, these big fat. I'm cooking like a scientist. We pull up in your hood and wet your shit up like a fire. You know I am a boss, but pussy nigga I ain't hiring. The trap I zick, I hit a couple times, but they ain't fine shit. Told her thought my dick was getting hard, but that's the fire. Yeah, no that's a fire, no that's a fire. Don't even try. No I got goons, no I got killers, ready to die. No we got glocks, no we got sticks, ready to fly. Niggas be thinking they eating, they sitting on their ass and they not getting a piece of the pie. Niggas be sitting and plotting, but they know I'm watching the niggas, so don't even try. I've been that nigga since I was a gist, so them bitches they know I'm that guy. Bitch, so that she get on her knees, she give me that bread like she ready to cry. Yeah. As soon as I open the seal, you know that it's real, we smoking those eyes. Yeah. As soon as I get him in front of a judge, shit, you know I'm alive. Told him it's time to get down to the business, fuck it, suit and tie. I can't even rock one brand. I'm having Mitch match, my designer Mitch match. Don't fuck back with big racks. You can't get your bitch back. Better call dispatch. I'm flexing with no six pack. She broke you like a Kit Kat. No cap, these big fat. I'm cooking like a scientist. We pull up in your hood and wet your shit up like a fire. You know I am a boss, but pussy nigga I ain't hiring. The trap I zick, I hit a couple times, but they ain't fine shit. Should've thought my dick was getting hard, but that's the fire.
All in the family. Man, my weed and my hoes too. I pull up old school, waist up in this bag, pussy make me have to show you. Clean this dirty money like we tell me and we goes to. Delete your boy like what? Yeah, like we use Pro Tools. Okay, cool, say you rude. That boy he played and made the news. Say his partner tried to spin and got it too. Stupid fool. They say twerk it in the spot and ain't my shit. Okay, cool, they know the prices for my verse, it costs a brick. Break the move, nigga dispatch. That's a 10-4, get your bitch back. Mix match, chopper sit him down like a kickback. Go for forever, you did, huh? So
Mitch match, my designer Mitch match. Don't fuck back with big racks. You can't get your bitch back. Better call dispatch. I'm flexing with no six pack. She broke you like a Kit Kat. No cap, these big fat. I'm cooking like a scientist. We pull up in your hood and wet your shit up like a fire. You know I am a boss, but pussy nigga I ain't hiring. The trap I zick, I hit a couple times, but they ain't fine shit. Told her thought my dick was getting hard, but that's the fire.
Yo, what's up, people? What's happening, man? It's Tuesday, so y'all know what time it is. It's time for Classic Conversations with JT and Low. I am JT, that is Low. I am me, he is him. James and Angelo. We are here on another Tuesday night. Looking forward to a good show. You know what? I was gonna mess with you, bro, but I ain't. How your week been, bro? How your week been?
Hey, man, I've been getting beat up left and right, man. You would think that my team, which I'm gonna represent my team no matter what the scenario is, you would think we wasn't 11-2 the way folk be talking, man. I'm just,
It's the way y'all losing.
Enough is enough. We still 11.
It's the way y'all losing. You can't run the ball.
Can't run the ball, but we still 11-2.
I know it's been a rough.
But it was rough. I ain't gonna lie. It was rough. 12 drops in 2 games.
Look, for your last 2 weeks, welcome to what my world has been for the last 4 or 5 years.
And here lies my point. These jokers talking all that y'all be talking about a team that ain't did nothing but have success. That's my point. But y'all had y'all fun, but 11-2.
As a Giants fan, I got
Ain't that
it.
right, Gates?
I'm happy. I had my Giants fans happy. We were 4-7 and in first place, and we happy like crazy, man. So,
and gonna make the playoffs.
Hey,
Redskins.
that team.
I'm a football. That team in Washington.
I told my guys, hey man, Daniel Jones, they still trying to give him a nickname. They DJ D Jones. I'm like, he has not earned a nickname. He's still Daniel Jones, the quarterback from Duke.
The first round draft pick.
The hell. Look,
Basketball.
not first round, but top echelon, number 6. Whew, all right, y'all. Sorry. Sorry, I got caught up there for a minute.
Say, bring it back. Bring it back.
Yeah, got me wearing a Hawks hat.
Yeah,
boy.
Oh, that says a lot.
Yeah. But, again, Tuesday, man, Classic Conversations with JT and Low. Our main topic tonight, we're going to actually talk about sexual content on television. We're talking about commercials. We're talking about primetime TV. I'm talking about when, if you saw somebody kiss back in the days, it was after 10 o'clock. Now at 8 o'clock prime time, they got people holding hands, kissing, naked, showing booties, the whole nine. So we're going to get to that. But I'm going to let Angelo introduce our guest over there, my man.
I'm sorry, Chris Benson just came here talking about did some still to say something about that football team. Whatever, man. Whatever, man. Y'all like y'all got Chase Young. That dude a beast, but whatever. We're gonna keep going, man. I told you folks be messing with me all week. So anyway, to my right, man, got my boy Bronze Law in the building.
We doing government out here.
B Law in the building.
We
doing
doing
government,
We
right?
doing the government, yeah. That's my real name, man. That was my daddy's name.
This is my frat brother, man.
New fire in the house.
New fire in the building, man. 1914. Let me put this out here right there because I don't want to forget.
Oh, yeah,
later.
let them know. Let them know.
Boy, B Law hooked me up with one of these bracelets, handmade, crafting business. Huh?
Monk ATL Leatherworks, man. Check me out. You can hit me up, Monk ATL, Instagram, man. I'm doing it all. Just check me out, man. I just love making stuff with my hands. You know what I'm saying? Using my head and my hands at the same time, bro. You know
We're gonna let them know where they can find you. We'll find your information at. We're gonna let you do it again, but go on, do it now, man.
Yeah,
Put
man.
it out there.
Monk ATL on Instagram and Monk ATL Leatherworks page on Facebook. Just hit me up, man. You can send me a message. I'm real easy to find. Quick turnaround. Like I said, man, it's my passion. This is what I love to do. All right,
Man,
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Good to have
Appreciate
you
you
here,
having me,
man.
man.
Absolutely, man. You know, you were chimed in last week on the show, man.
I hope it was constructive.
It was very constructive.
You know, I hope so.
But you wanted a point, man. I want to hear about accountability.
Oh yeah. He kept asking about that. Didn't he?
What about accountability?
Cause it's real. It's real easy to divert attention from, you know what I'm saying, from the symptoms of what's going on. I feel like, you know what I mean, as an autonomous human being, no matter what, you can point the finger, but the more you point the finger at other people, the more than likely it's really the reflection of yourself, you know what I'm saying? So just take that accountability before you're so quick to be so visceral with your responses toward what other people are doing towards you. Just make sure you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure you holding yourself accountable.
Holding yourself accountable.
That's all it is.
Big
That's
facts,
what it
big
is.
Facts, big facts.
That's what it is. Man, I'm trying to start my live. Go ahead and get going. Because my tablet is full, so I can't.
I got
so I'm
you.
gonna have to go to the phone.
I got you.
Got to get the people in.
So we're talking, man, about TV commercials, and TV in general. You know what I mean? But you know, and this is coming from, you know, this is one of those sensitive, very sensitive type subjects where you got to be careful what you say.
Ooh boy.
Not to offend people or offend certain groups and what have you, but in an effort not to offend or insult, you still got to ask the question of, you know, what's too much, or what's the word, you know, when you're trying to push a point or an objective, what have you, you know what I mean? So, you know, like it caught me off guard the other day. Because when I personally, you know, and I watch, you know, sports galore, but just sitting down watching a lot of TV, I really don't have the opportunity a lot of times. So I usually watch recordings. You know what I mean? I catch shows, but I usually record it. So I'm fast forward to commercials. But I did see one, man. It was, I don't know what they were even advertising. But at the end of the commercial, you know, I see two dudes, you know, hook her up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said it was puckered up.
They were puckered up. I don't.
Yeah, that's what it is now. Yeah,
Hey.
that's what they're doing now.
And it threw me completely off, man. I was like, whoa, is that what I just saw? You know, and then there was a one where had a dude was, the guy was in the bed and the guy was like levitating over him and it came all the way down right here now. And
I ain't seen that. He was levitating.
Yeah, it was levitating. I don't know what it was. He was levitating on bed and it just dropped. And it dropped. He was like right there with the dude. And I was trying to figure out where they going with this, man. You know what I mean? And why? And why is it necessary? I mean, or is it? Or, you know, I mean, what we doing? I mean, what we doing, man? I mean, somebody talk to me, man. What's...
All right, man.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Now, let's be reasonable. There have always been gay people, right? There've always been gay people, and there's always been trans people too. I mean, throughout history. Now, I think where there's a concentration, and I think where it becomes a little bit offensive at times is because you gotta hunt to find a black man and a black woman together in a positive light.
In a positive light. Correct.
And honestly, at the end of the day, if you don't want to see it, you don't have to watch it. You know what I mean? But our kids are very impressionable, and and the way they receive things on certain frequencies is different from someone whose brain is a lot more developed.
Right.
So as us as grown men, as when we see it, we can differentiate. We know we can kind of separate things, even though it may or may not be what we want to see. But for our young people that are much more impressionable,
Right.
they tend to follow versus think critically first.
Correct.
We'll think critically first, you know what I mean? But they will emulate off rip. So I think that's really the concern and the real crux of the conversation is how it is affecting our youth. They're quick to emulate what they see, and we just want more positive image and more diverse images of folks, especially our people.
Okay, I got
MJ said y'all stop tap dancing around this.
I got a question for you following that, but again, as Angelo said, MJ, hey man, okay, hey, we gotta make sure we correct a little bit, but
a little bit, just a smidge.
But listen, you know, as Angelo said, you know, we have to, like I said, tap dance a little bit. We have to watch what we say. We don't want to say the wrong things. Because I just got an education earlier this week from a good friend of mine, heterosexual female, and she was in a group with a bunch of gay guys, and they actually was giving her, you know, definitions and all this type of stuff. So we're probably, for anybody that's out there looking that is of a certain lifestyle, we may say the wrong word. So please forgive us because it's not in our vocabulary. We're going off what we thought and what we knew.
It's not bashing or
yeah. So
you know what I mean?
I want to make sure we get that part across. You know, your lifestyle is your lifestyle. But you know, listening to what you were saying, are you? And it's what I thought when I did the post today. Is it something that you feel may push kids to? And let's take the gay part out of it. Just any type of sexual content that's on television. So sometimes it may just be in a regular TV show. You're seeing a lot of sexual.
Not maybe.
Yes. Yeah. You're seeing a lot of sexual things. Yeah. So do you think it's something that's pushing kids to having sexual urges earlier or capitalize?
It's a combination.
Acting on certain things now.
It's a combination of the chemicals in the food. It's a combination of the messages in the music, which really the music plays a huge role in emulation.
I get you there, but seeing it
reinforces it.
Yeah, seeing
it is like the tipping point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, so that seeing it thing,
they're being hit from they're being hit from all fronts.
Yeah,
all of the senses are being accosted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the music thing, you know, is, you know, I've always been in the belief of, you know, I'll never forget Charles Barkley doing a commercial saying, "I am not your role model." Mm-hmm. I am not a role model, even though in a sense he kind of is. But at the same time, you know, if your child's role model is in regards to life itself, is somebody that's not in your house or not a family member or something like that, that's not a problem with whoever the person is on television, the entertainer. That's a problem at home. So with music, I've always been on thinking, you know, you can talk to kids. I felt you could talk to the younger people about music. I always felt that way. But with this television, and now not only television, now they can actually go to YouTube and see anything that they want. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is scary. I mean, and you wonder why there's so many now single parent households at such a young age. I think a lot of this stuff has to do with, I don't know if the television stations understand that they are part of the problem. You know, they're going to blame it on the music, not realizing that they're part of the problem also with the stuff that they're showing on these channels.
It's all media programming, and I think programming is the key word to that. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how it approaches you. Just know that it's some form of programming. You know, so I mean, maybe back in the day it may have been radio programming, and then with the advent of cable, I'm an '80s baby, but I hear about when people were talking about when HBO first came out and Showtime and all that stuff, and it was like, you know, everybody was. It was the big thing, you know what I mean? Because there was no real rating system how it was on network television, and then that slowly evolved, and then we ended up having cable television, BET, MTV, those things come out, and then the images started to the suppression of certain images just started to soften.
I mean, as a '70s baby,
break it down.
As a '70s baby, you know, we had black and white was still there. And I Love Lucy and all these TV shows. These shows was in separate beds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They all had twin beds at the crib.
Yeah.
So we went from twin beds to, you know, these brothers kissing. And then they were black. And then they were brothers too.
Oh, they'll show an interracial.
Well, I've seen that too.
Yeah. They're
just
showing
straight kiss. But hold on. Caller, we got to call on the line. Talk to me, caller. Who we talking to?
Hey, this is Jerry Stewart.
It's who? I didn't hear him.
Jerry Stewart.
Oh, what's up, Jared? How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How's you, man?
I'm good, man. We were just talking about you just yesterday, too, man. This brother right here on the phone, Jared, I went to high school with this guy, man. This guy was 6'8", 295 in high school, man. That's just a monster. I was glad I was on defense with him and not on offense.
Man, y'all lucky to have people that big.
Oh, we didn't have a whole bunch of people that big. Don't get it twisted. But he was the biggest one. I remember we played Valdosta. Jaren was 6'8", 295, but Valdosta was average 6'6", 285. So, you know what I'm saying? What's up, G? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. I'm trying to go back and forth between the two medium theaters to make sure I stay caught up with y'all, man. But
okay.
But listen, you know, one thing the man was saying, like this media programming that he was talking about with these kids. It is all media programming. The radio is the control of what is played on the radio. The artists, they make the music, but it's the radio stations and the industry that decide what is played.
Right.
So that definitely makes you can't say that the artist, like everybody wants to blame Cardi B for her WAP album or her WAP song, but that song is no different than any other male-driven song talking about the same BS.
Correct.
And all of the music that is on the radio is controlled by the party music radio stations. So therefore, they can get away with the censoring that they didn't have back in the day.
That's true. That's very true. I had that same argument when they were talking about the Megan Thee Stallion. They was, you know, like, man, what's wrong with her saying it when the brother said it in every other song?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But at the same time, it's the artist that makes the song. It's the radio station and the industry that determines when it's played, how it's played. They don't allow the artist to put, like, they don't promote the positive music from the artist. They only promote the dumb down stuff.
So tell me now. Put that together with what you're seeing on these commercials. Tell me how you are merging the two.
So in the commercials, the things that you see from video and audio, as far as TV goes, a lot of that is that they're showing you metropolitan life, what life is in other areas, opposed to what y'all are used to seeing in your area.
Okay. So now, what's
so
go ahead.
Music, one more time?
No, go ahead. Finish up.
Yeah, so the music is just something that plays along with, because the kids are going to be able to understand the lyrics and sing the lyrics, and opposed to learning anything they learned in high school. All of this Germanization of our culture was really like, our generation is to blame for the shit, because we accepted the shit long ago. Because we thought that we was grown enough to teach our kids something. We didn't teach our kids the right things. We screwed up just as bad as the kids are screwing up now. We allowed the breaking for the mumble rappers and the juveniles and all that stuff, all the 2 Live Crew, and we call ourselves trying to be the grown and the woke generation. We screwed up just as bad as we want to talk about these kids screwing up.
I can't disagree. GERREN. Yeah. I can't disagree with that. So now, I mean, how comfortable are you though? When you have you seen the particular commercial that I was speaking of?
No, I haven't seen that one. I don't think so. But I live in Minneapolis. And up here in Minneapolis, whatever you see on TV, you can see on the corner. So, the kissing and TV on stuff, the guys kissing, that's everyday stuff,
right?
Around here. Things that your kids are seeing in school and away from you, and things that your kids are hearing and experiencing away from you, it's a shocker when you might experience it with them, but they have already been exposed to it long before you were seen.
Okay.
Might be hard for y'all to believe that down there.
No, I get what you're saying with that. I do. You're right about it. But as parents, we want to try and limit it as much as possible. So yeah, you're right. In school, we was talking about this last weekend. We was talking. Go ahead.
What are parents going to do? What are parents going to do when we didn't want to be parented by our own parents?
Hey, all I can tell you is about how I'm parenting now. And back then they didn't have to worry about nothing being on TV. That's one thing. Not in my TV. No, not in my TV days. There was no sexual content on TV in my day. There was no HBO.
Wait, bro.
I'm a little older than you.
Listen, I'm not saying when you was a kid. What I'm saying is when you was growing up as an adult and your parents was trying to tell you not to do certain things to your kids, you was telling your parents, I'm grown. I know what to do with my kids. When the government was trying to tell us that we need to control censoring, we kept telling them, no, y'all don't need to control what we say or what we do. We can raise our own kids. Obviously, we can't. Because we have a problem with being a parent.
Basically, as growing up, right, we, especially our generation, were the ones who fought censorship. You know what I mean? When the government said, don't cuss on, don't have the nude people, you going to jail if you do this.
And we wanted it.
We fought it.
Okay, I see. Okay,
and so now you fought it. Now it's there. Now you complain about it.
Yeah, good point. Right. Good point.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Right.
I don't think I have a fault though for two men kissing. But I know what you're saying. It's censorship in general. I get it. But maybe we didn't know what we was fighting for. Well, evidently we didn't know.
Right. So the whole movement behind censorship, I think the reason why our culture fought against it so much because we were targeted. Now, I'm, you know what I'm saying, like, I go by Music Month, you know what I'm saying, I listen, I'm rocking with all types of music. Black music, he mentioned 2 Live Crew. I remember when Snoop came out, you actually had Tipper Gore Tipper Gore was actually spearheading that movement of getting the label, the censorship label, put on black music.
Black music, right?
But if it had been more of a blanketed approach, then we may not have fought as hard because we wouldn't have felt isolated.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense too.
But we felt like we were isolated, and they were strictly attacking our music. And then when you had Columbine, and then you had other incidents where those young men were saying that they specifically were listening to Marilyn Manson and listening to certain music. People, you know what I'm saying? People attack Marilyn Manson and they attack Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. They attack some of that music, but the response wasn't as visceral as it is when it comes to black
Attacking
music.
black music. That's facts.
You know what I mean? So when you attack black music, you know, we got to think about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the parts of our culture that, you know what I'm saying, that we really hold dear to because we're the gatekeepers of that part of the culture.
Right.
I disagree with you a little bit on that, bro. Simply because they attacked white music, rock and roll bad in the 70s, the late 70s, early 80s. They attacked it bad too.
But they didn't come up with a label to put on the music, which is my point.
Yes, it is.
The censorship label didn't come out until the late 80s, 90s. They were talking about the music, but they didn't put a ban on you able to buy it at a certain age. They didn't do that. That came out. That was centered around our culture.
No,
and that right there, that's a fact.
Our culture allowed them to feel it. They first started arguing the love, drugs, and sex, drugs, and rock and roll BS in the 70s and 80s. Our culture allowed it to feel it.
Our culture,
because when Ozzy Osbourne was going around drinking spit and Alice Cooper and then biting heads and kissing and all that stuff, they were trying. They were beating at the hook. Then when John Lennon got killed, they didn't know what to do. But when they was able to villainize rap music so that they could set it up for its capital gains, that's when they sealed it. Okay. Because long before the gangster rap, you had the early days of rap with the let's see, you had Before Too Like Crew was hot. You had Too Short that was hot. All of this was underground. When Ice-T came out with the Cop Killers and his rock and roll band, they saw too much of a merge at that point in time. That's when the censorship really started to get bad. Tipper Gore, she was nice. She was able to put it, like hammer it down. But before her, there was all the other peckerwood white people that was hanging the asses at those days.
Brother, I think we on the same side of the same coin. Because essentially, that's what I'm saying. The label, the parental advisory label didn't come out in the 70s. And Alice Cooper and all of them, they was doing all of that stuff. They was pushing the envelope decades before. But it didn't come out. But they didn't develop the label until they saw Two Live Crew and Ice-T in the late 80s and the early 90s, which is my exact point. We're basically saying the same thing,
right?
But when we felt like our music was the catalyst for it, that's when we fought back. Because the whole point was that everybody else had been, you know what I'm saying? They had been doing this type of music. So where was this animus when those artists were putting out this type of content?
So basically, what we're seeing now in regards to television, commercials, and of course, I'm not talking about movies. I'm just thinking of primetime television, regular commercials during the day. What we're seeing now, you guys think is a direct result of the fight for censorship that we probably led back in the day?
I think it's multifaceted. I think number one, no one expected technology to explode in the way that it has in the past, let's say 25 years. No one expected that. I'm a millennial, but when I was growing up, we had pagers, cell phones. We were the first generation to get the internet, and then Napster came out, and then after that, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? Like it was no holds barred. You know what I mean? So the tech, like you can't account, you can't necessarily account for something that you're not really prepared for, especially culturally. And technology is so invasive and pervasive in our culture. You're constantly it's hard to stay ahead of it to figure out how to protect what you value the most, which is the family unit, the children, your mind, your mentality, because you're being accosted from all fronts with it.
But let me ask this question to everybody then. I mean, I guess from a viewership, right? I mean, do we feel like, all right, we'll establish where it may have come from, where it's derived from, but is it force feeding something to people? You know what I mean? Is it trying to make you accept, well, we've accepted it nationwide, so now we're making you accept, certain lifestyles. You know what I mean? We're force feeding it. We're force feeding. We're every major TV show you have.
Yes.
That couple. I don't know one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they're not just, on Empire, I don't know if y'all watch Empire now. I mean, the male sex scenes are way more graphic than the male-female sex scenes. I mean, they're extremely graphic.
The creator of the show is Lee Daniels.
Oh, I know. So, I understand, which is my point. Are you saying that you're force-feeding it because it's more accepted?
No, he ain't force feeding. He's telling you exactly what's happening. You just ain't seeing it.
Which goes to my earlier point when we first started, that a lot of this stuff has been going on, but technology and how we're surrounded by it, you can't really escape stuff. But I will say this in comparison. When people say there's no good music out there, to me, when I hear that, I'm too lazy to go find good music. I'd rather listen to what they just play on the radio or what videos they play. So I'm relating that to all of these images. You can't be lazy with you know what I'm saying? You can't be lazy with the images and the messages that are being forced upon your culture. You have to, you know what I'm saying, you have to attack these things, put them in proper context, either, you know what I'm saying, either call them entertainment, but make sure that people know the difference. You know what I'm saying? Have genuine, real conversations about things.
So
with who?
So with that, with
definitely with the children, so and with the young, and with everybody, really. I
mean, so with what you just said, when people say there's no good music, that means they're probably being lazy, not looking for good music. So if someone is looking at a television show that they like, would you say the same thing, that they're being lazy and they can find the type of TV show that they want without the sexual content?
Everyone
they're just not looking for it?
Everyone has.
I enjoy Empire.
Right. I'm saying, I don't think that's a good comparison. I understand the thing about music.
But you got to have,
but you can't say that people are lazy when they're looking at a TV show.
Well,
and they got to go look for a TV show if they like this TV show.
It's so many different formats. You know what I'm saying? Lo just said he doesn't catch shows.
Let's just say
he watches recordings and stuff.
Yeah, and he records Empire.
Right.
So, but I mean, I get what you're saying with the music, because I've heard people say that a lot. Because let's face it, some of us, we don't been living a while. We don't like change. Honestly, we don't. So a lot of us don't. So we like to say old school rap was better. Old school this was better. Patti LaBelle was better than, we like to do that. So you're right. There are probably some laziness in saying you probably only listening to what's on the radio. You're not going out buying music, looking for music. You're only listening to that. So yeah, you're going to say there's no good music. But with television, I mean, they're saying, are you lazy for not finding another television show?
Well, because of technology.
Now, wait. But we just talking about TV. We ain't talking about YouTube. We ain't talking about Amazon. We just talking about ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. That's it.
I mean, at this point, the big five are. They're struggling. They're trying to keep up with how fast people are creating content in other areas. Like they're struggling. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to watch the major networks to find good quality content. You know what I mean? That's why all those apps. That's why everybody coming up with those.
But no,
apps,
that's what we talking about. We talking about commercials. Ain't no commercials on the apps. Well, actually, let me change that. There they are.
Yeah, they are. They are.
They are. So you still can't get away from it even there. But I'm just saying we just trying to figure out the content, like Lo saying, is being pushed down your throat on just regular TV. You know, yeah, you're right. If you don't want to watch it, you ain't got to watch it. Damn, it's General Hospital.
Same way.
Okay.
It's General Hospital. Well, we got to leave General Hospital, because, I mean, is it being, you feel it's being force fed?
Bro, you got me when you said General Hospital. I'm like, we campaigning for it? We made the conversations.
Hold on. We got a call on the line. Two callers on the line. Man. So give it one of y'all say something first.
What's up, fellas? It's MJ.
There he is.
There you go.
What's good, brother?
No much, man. Y'all picked the subject tonight, boy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think everybody's getting away from the point, though.
All right, talk to us.
When you try to, I think when you're trying to put music on the same level as those commercials, you can't. I think music started it because that's what brought calling a black woman a bitch and a hoe into our mainstream. But now I think it's gone on another level that makes it worse, because now young and impressionable youth, because most kids are latchkey kids now, they're seeing these shows that they probably shouldn't be seeing. So when they're in that puppy love stage or stage where they should be on their opinion of what they like sexually or wouldn't like, now they're getting a third choice or a fourth choice, and in some cases a fifth choice thrown in there. Not saying it shouldn't be in there. I don't want to be politically incorrect, but it's certain things that in your formative stages, like there's certain places you can't take your child downtown if you're going to eat because you don't want to see two guys' father. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying when a child is young and you're allowing him to think that certain things are okay.
Right.
And not saying they're not okay, but just, heterosexual and the child seeing something else. And now when you're putting it mainstream and they're seeing the stars and there's regular characters, just about every new show has a gay character.
Yep. Everyone.
And I'm not saying it's wrong.
Right.
But when it's put into the mainstream like that, and there's no rebuttal or nobody acting like they're really weird act about it, then it's acceptance. And that acceptance is transferring. You got to realize we're 12 to 13% of the population. What is the percentage of males in the African American community? 5%. You look at the high death rate and everything else involved in it. Pretty soon, the most endangered species in America is going to be a heterosexual black man. And I'm not saying trying to change anybody's sexual orientation.
Right.
I'm just saying that putting it in the mainstream so early where youth are seeing it, it's become like a fashion statement now.
Right.
And that's something else. I had a conversation with someone about, you actually see more of the male relationships. You don't see a lot of, you see it some, but compared to the male relationships that they show they don't show.
It's okay. It's okay.
Female. It's like that's okay. That's
if you got
cool.
a gay couple, that's fine.
Women,
right.
There's nothing wrong with the gay couple being on TV. That's fine. But the explicitness of it, it'd be more than I don't know what's the word. The traditional. I'm trying to be politically correct here, but but you just don't see it. But it's like,
it's almost like I've always said it. Your lifestyle is your lifestyle. I'm cool with it. Do what you do, but just don't force it on me, around me. So with television and the commercials and everything, and we know that group of, we was talking about the voting thing, that group of people, they're powerful. And it might be the reason why we're seeing all of this is because of their power. But now let me play devil's advocate. What if, it's hard for me to even do it. What if somebody's argument was it's shown to enlighten people and make sure that they know of their choices.
Say that again. say it one more time.
I'm playing devil's advocate now.
I just want to hear it again.
Let's say somebody's argument about it was the reason it's great that it's there because it enlightens, and let's go with men. It enlightens boys, letting them know that if this is what you want to do, it's cool. It's a choice for you. What if somebody came with that type of argument? I'm playing devil's advocate.
But isn't that what it's doing?
But I'm saying
is that one of the purposes?
I'm saying I think it is.
That's what I believe anyway.
Yeah, but if that's the argument, what would you say to that?
That's almost like we're letting the tail wag the dog, though. The tail's wagging the dog now.
Well,
Tail wagging the dog. Yeah.
I think we should look at it. We should always use our critical mind. You got to think critically when it comes to this. They don't make the content. The commercials don't support the content. The content supports the commercials anyway, right? So if you know that, you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing that brings in the money. You know what I mean? So that ultimately has to be the agenda. So let's make that the baseline. You know what I'm saying?
And I just read something about it, but go ahead.
What you got?
No, I read something about that.
Is it two separate callers?
Is another caller? Okay. There was they were saying that for the people that find sexual content of American television advertising upsetting, they would cringe at the commercials being shown elsewhere in the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they wide open on air.
And they're saying the reason why it happened was because it may have started with something, say, about cologne or perfume. And what happened is the other sections of, somebody wanted to sell clothes. They say, you know what, it's working for them. It's going to work for us. And then somebody said, you know what, I want to sell shoes, but it's working for them. It might work for us. And what's happening is they're saying that there's more sexual content and it's actually taken away from the actual product that they're selling.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the game shows that are in Latin America,
the weather lady
that are in if you look at some of the game shows on Japan, I mean, they got like they actually have like butt sniffing game shows in Japan, like real talk. They have game shows where they do all sort of perverse experiments with the body,
sniffing women's butts though?
Yes, they. So
are there any men sniffing men's butts?
I haven't seen that, but my second point is that most of the time these cultures are typically homogeneous as well. So with America, there's such cultural diversity. It's easier to target people when you want to manipulate their minds, and you know what I'm saying, and target a specific group of people. Now, I want to see black men and black women on TV together in positive lights. I'm gonna stick with that. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be the Cosby Show. It don't have to be Fresh Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But there has to be representation. So it allows for juxtaposition. You know what I mean?
And you know what? When you think about it, I mean, just thinking right now, I look at TV, and I'm trying to.
You gotta hunt for it. You gotta hunt for it.
You can't even say Empire because they were fighting all the time. All of those
black men were terrible.
Where they were actually, like I said, like
and
Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. you don't see that no more.
So all the time. But you know what though? Black Lightning, they about to have their last season. I think it's season 3 or season 4. Yeah. That's a dark skinned black. That's Scooter. They play Scooter from Living Single, and then it's a sister on there. So you got two dark skinned people, you know what I'm saying, man and a woman, husband and wife. She's a scientist. He's a high school principal. Got superpowers, and the young lady from House of Pain is one of the daughters.
Okay, so that's right? One. So
exactly.
Yeah,
All Rise. I've seen a couple of those episodes.
Yeah, All Rise.
So once again, you gotta hunt for it, and then when you do find it, it's underfunded. It's on the CW. It's on the CW. It's not on NBC.
Man, that's good.
You about to say something, MJ?
It's not on Fox. It's not on NBC. You gotta watch out for Fox too. You gotta watch out for Fox. Fox ain't as progressive as y'all. I mean, how you gonna have Fox News and then have Fox Network and think that they're
separate,
and they think they separate? No, these people, like, this is the same network. They are in cahoots. It's the same thing.
Wow. I'm sitting there running through my mind.
So All
trying to figure
Rise
out
about a
television
powerful
show.
black female.
Yeah.
But couple wise, what is a good show? That a positive black couple on there.
A positive black couple on a television show right now.
I don't know the answer to that.
Man, that's been canceled for 10
they're
years.
not. But the thing is, even with that one,
we have a new caller. Who are you?
Coach, what's going on with you, man? It's Coach West, man.
Oh man, what's up, Coach? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm gonna tell you something. I really am ashamed to call in on this particular topic because you guys have had some great shows over the past couple of weeks.
Appreciate that, brother.
appreciate it.
Black Lightning was one of my favorite shows, and they still depict black women real bad in that show. You know what I mean? As far as like the lesbian type stuff.
Really?
But it really does. When you watch it, like it, but that sister to be so beautiful, and she's still messing around with somebody else, and then you find out it's a 80-year-old man. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Right.
It's still a supernatural.
But
It's
like
still
on this particular topic, I like what you guys are saying, but it goes a little bit further than what we looking at.
Okay.
When we did the music art deal back in the early 90s, late 80s, somebody put a battery in people's back so they can be able to complain. They were so upset the fact that these young guys were making so much money.
Mm-hmm.
So by them making so much money, and then they was putting it out there like they couldn't be stopped, the white America couldn't stop them because it looked too racist. And the stuff they was doing in the 70s was no different, but, you know, they was biting, pigeons off of folks' heads and, throwing blood on people, having sex on stage, and nobody said anything.
Right.
So now you fast forward to the 90s, and these black guys get money, young black guys, when probably 4 or 5 years prior before that, you was locking them up, chasing them down, shooting them.
Right.
So now all of a sudden they find something they can do as far as money-wise, and it's like I said, they threw it in their face because they weren't getting no support nowhere else, not from the community centers, not from the churches, nowhere. They found a way to make, nothing out of something, and then there it is. But when you look at the fact that they are, when it comes to the television, they hide behind freedom of speech and freedom of cinema. And we don't have enough money, or we want to invest our money into stuff like that to where we can complain, so we can take that stuff off the television. Because it's sad, you know what I mean? Because like I said, it's easy for us to put the content out there for the mumble rap because people buy, people support it, they want to support their nephews. But when we start putting content out there for YouTube will change it and reinvent the wheel for you.
Right.
So now that content may not make it to the mainstream, and they'll take our music and use it for a commercial instead of taking the content and making it a commercial.
Gotcha. I like how you put that too.
So just had to call in to y'all, man. As far as being lazy, I look forward to you guys' show on Tuesday. You know what I mean? Because that's my time where I can be able to just listen to some adult content.
Oh, we appreciate that.
And I'm
Appreciate
out.
you, man. What I want you to start doing then on these Tuesdays, because sometimes we feel like we talk to ourselves, just like you did tonight. Give us a call.
It's like I have a comment about that. It's like,
Hey, Coach, don't hang up. I want to ask you a question. I hope you ain't hung up yet. Go ahead, MJ.
I really agree with what he said, but I think what a problem is, you're tap dancing, everybody's tap dancing, it's up there. Now, if it was the other way around, it was somebody from
one of the alphabet communities, and they were up here, they wouldn't have to tap dance. And my thing is that, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but you can't be honest about how you feel about it or say it exactly how you want because you don't want to be ostracized or seen as not being politically correct. But if the show was, say you had well, they're not called transsexuals, and what are they called? Whatever they're called now. And you had them up there, and they made an outlandish statement or just let it be felt. They could say, well, I like guys, I like to do blank, 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 I like to do this, blank, 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 and nobody would say nothing. But if you sit up there and you say, well, I don't like that, I only like this, and I think that's wrong, you would be lambasted tomorrow in the media. And I think that's part of the problem, the demasculation of the black male. Because everything else is being accepted, but a straight black character on TV, a strong black male on TV that's not running a football or shooting a basketball. And like, look at all the positive stuff that LeBron does.
Right.
Strong black schools, everything of that nature. He got his whole crew and he brought them up. He educated them. Yep. Since the ones at school that needed to go to school. They don't talk about that. But they'll put I almost said that wrong. They'll put somebody from the alphabet up and let him say whatever he wants to say or she wants to say. And I'm not saying it's wrong. They deserve, this is America. They have that right. But I'm also saying that they're writing the narrative for us and nobody sees that. But they're writing a narrative that's going to cover the... No, I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going to go there. I'll let y'all take it. But that's just my take on it.
I get what you're saying. They're right. He's right.
I agree. The topic though is sexual content on TV. We're not just focused on the homosexual aspect of it.
Right.
We're talking
not.
about the hypersexualization of television content directed at our people. That's just one aspect of it. So no one's tap dancing. We're just not going to just strictly just talk about one aspect of the community when we contribute culturally to all of it. You know what I mean? So we have we have to unpack this in a way where it's not like we're tap dancing. You know what I mean? Like it has nothing to do with your sexual orientation, which has been said multiple times. But also at the same time, I also respect what you're saying because certain segments and certain demographics are a little bit more sensitive when it comes to things. I know black people are. I know black people as a whole are extremely sensitive when it comes to things. But we have to be able to communicate and come to the table in a way so people can understand. You can't complain about being misunderstood if you're not putting up if you're not allowing yourself to be understood. You have to give people reasons to. You have to endear people to your cause. You know what I mean? But you also have control of what you ingest and what you digest. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we don't own any of these networks. We don't own them. You know what I mean? There's no ownership. So when there's no ownership, for example, and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, my thing is about music. You can talk about killing another black man. You can talk about disrespecting another black woman, but say something about killing some dogs. They're not gonna give you no record deal, and you talking about killing dogs. So why do we accept that? You know what I'm saying? Why do we accept that? And we're seeing it now. We're seeing it right now. People still trying to boycott Michael Vick. They still trying to boycott this man.
Right.
They understand that we will continue to consume content that is detrimental to our minds, to our spirits, to our bodies. And it's okay to have that music, but it's not okay for us to just accept that that's the only type of music. Like, there's nothing wrong with Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, but there's also nothing wrong with No Name and Jean Grey. You know what I mean? Like, it's and Rhapsody actually got Lyricist of the Year for the BET Hip Hop Awards. Like, it's nothing wrong with celebrating diversity of thought and diversity in content. But when you're lazy and you just turn it on and you're not calling the radio programmer at B103 and saying, why do I keep having to hear this song 40 times a day? You know what I mean? You can complain, but they're not complaining. They're requesting the music.
And they're also being paid off.
I'm surprised that radio is
payola.
other than morning radio.
Payola is definitely
music being played 40 times.
They claim it's illegal, but payola is real.
Other than morning radio, I'm surprised radio is even still getting listens.
But today, but we got another.
You know what? We got a guest.
Well, let's do the new caller first.
Let you introduce yourself in a minute.
Yeah,
caller.
I'm not new.
Oh, I thought he said we had a new caller. Okay, we're good then. All right, hold tight. Go ahead, Miss Mary.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, young lady.
How you doing? My name is Ma E.C. I'm with Pittsburgh Black Comedy Association.
Okay. Tell us what that's all about there.
Pittsburgh Black Comedy Association, we embrace the entire family. We try to have activities for everyone in the family, and particularly the young person in the family. We have comedy classes that we offer where we can bring comedy, we can bring all stage performance, all types of stage performance, black box production, things of this nature, to the class clown, to the cut up, to the kid that may or may not exemplify that they have that comedy talent or what have you. We have those classes that are available for them. And of course, for mom and dad, we have the regular old-fashioned comedy to come on out and check us out.
That's what's up.
Okay. All right. That's dope.
Now, jumping to the topic, JT, I thought you were about to ask her a question. Now we got the intro out the way.
Yeah.
That way we talk to man.
Yeah. Okay. Right here in this big old circle here.
Yeah. Okay.
But, I mean, you can look at us sometime, but basically talk to the people out there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, basically what we're talking about sexual content on television, commercials and things of that nature. We've kind of got into it a couple of different ways. We've kind of compared it a little bit to music and, being censored. We actually talked about, we hit on, which was head on. I didn't ever think of it that way, but when we actually were fighting for censorship back in the 80s, late 80s or early 80s maybe, in the 80s and the 90s, now we finally got the censorship and now we're complaining about it because this is part of it. Mm-hmm. So I know I just ran a lot down to you, but basically sexual content on television and everything, what do you think of it? And of course, we're not just talking about we're not just talking about the homosexuality that's on television, but we're also just talking about the content, the explicitness, the love scenes, and then we're also talking about interracial couples and how right now, how many did we count out? 2? We counted out 2
families,
2 actual successful black couples.
They gave me Blackish
on television.
And they
Blackish.
said All Rise. He said,
but All Rise is a female, right?
He said, but she's married. I've only seen a couple episodes. So
okay, all right.
I know once I saw she was pregnant.
So that's 2. So and 3 then Black Lightning also. So those are the only 3 that we could think of. Mm-hmm. So I just ran a lot down to you. So now go ahead, talk.
What's your thoughts?
Well, you know what has stuck in my mind is also what the caller mentioned too, when he talked about the dress and black men being demasculized and wearing the dress. That was an excellent point. Mm-hmm. I think that is something to bring into the mix as well. Unfortunately, it seems like the black man is considered a threat if he is not wearing the dress, or if he is not wearing the skinny jeans. Come on. If he is not wearing the sport and the sag, if he is not going with the trends and the things of this nature, what have you, because you look less threatening. You come across less threatening in those ways, and you're more acceptable, trendy, and more acceptable. Let me go there as well with the music. I hear the sexual content and the television and the sexual content. We even see it in cartoons. Cartoons.
Right. Yeah.
Don't get me started. Ernie and Bert, okay?
Oh,
I mean, they snuck it right in under our noses
Adult
and
Swim
the
right
whole
now
thing or what have you.
Soft porn.
So I think that overall, it is.
It is.
Really is. It's
Adult
soft
Swim
porn.
is soft porn.
It
for
really
real.
is. It really, truly is. And a lot of our cartoon movies, you go to take your kid to the movie, and there's all the lines and things that are going right over the kid's head. Like it's resonating with you more than it is with your child. So I think that being said, it's really important for the adult, really important for the parents to be involved. it's interesting how this COVID thing has taken over and has us having to do homeschooling, and a lot of parents are complaining about that, but it's almost the best thing that could ever happen, because you have your seed right at home. With all the things that are happening right outside, you have them right at home where you can explain and break down in small parts and unpack in small parts some of the things that are happening out there in music, in television, and things that they're seeing.
At least you should be.
Should be.
Anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wondered that, not to get off topic, just how many people are actually taking that opportunity to teach. And, you know,
even Black History, this is excellent. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially when you get a certain age, because, you know, I mean, I can speak for mine. I mean, you know, the two that are in school, well, all three of them are in school, but the two that's in high school, you know, they are, but all three of them, I mean, they gamers. So as soon as that school bell ring, that computer's turn off, hey, it's video game city, man. So, you know what I mean? So I can't sit in, I won't sit in and say that we've had a whole lot of in-depth conversations about, I mean, we have.
But they got foundation.
But we talk on a regular basis.
But they got foundation.
Right.
So.
But my point being, how many, you know, is how much is that really happening? Because I think this is a perfect time for it, I agree.
Right.
But I don't know if people are taking advantage of it. I just wonder. So.
Yeah, I know I haven't done enough. I know with my stepson, I say he's 19, he's a gamer. I had to have some conversations with him about being a black man and growing up into a black young man, you know, letting him know that the game is not going to, you know, this is not the life that's waiting for you. You know, there's a lot of responsibilities that's out there, you know, trying to give him more responsibilities at the house, you know, simple things, and seeing if you can just remember to do those simple things. And well, I'll see if it's working when I get home, because the garbage, has to go out tomorrow. So if it's not out on the curb, then I know I'm failing.
JC, let me ask you a question though about your stepson. I'm gonna ask you I feel like it's an objective question, but you can answer it subjectively as well. Is he good? Is he exceptionally well at video games?
It's a good question. He beat me in basketball. And I've always thought that I could get on a basketball game and beat anybody, because the kids usually just go for the dunks. Man, he put a whipping on me, but no, the kid is actually really good at it. He actually creates content for other gamers. You know, he takes clips like a clip from an NBA 2K game. He'll take a clip from it for them and redo it to where it's all about them. You know, he's really good at it. And yes, I get what you're saying. Trying to get him to use that towards it.
In the new day, that's a viable skill.
Yeah, and you know, I've talked to him about that, but his word is, nah, this is just fun. Yeah, man, bro, you can make some good money off of this right here. You know, you could have a career off of this. But he's built his own computer. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had boxes coming into the house. I'm like, yo, what is this? Is this dude building a bomb? You know, what's going on? He actually built his own computer, bro. I mean, you know, it is viable.
His brother's computer.
But, you know, my thing is, out right now, I don't mind you playing games, because what it does, it keeps you in the house with the craziness that's out there right now.
Right.
My thing is, like I said, you're 19. You know, the only reason you're considered a teenager is because it's in your age. That's it. Because once you're 20, you're not considered a teenager anymore. 19, because teen is there. I'm just trying to teach them about responsibility and all that type of stuff. Now, the little girl, 16, that's a whole nother story. You know, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
She told me she kissed somebody, and she been on lockdown since.
Hey, JT was distraught, boy. I've never heard silence in your voice like that before.
I mean,
you were just silent.
She said it fast, too. Yeah. Oh. I just froze. You got to be.
So let me ask you a question, Mom.
Okay. Got me sweating already.
I see. That's why I try to help you out here.
I saw
that flashback.
Do some controlled breathing exercises over there, brother. You're gonna be all right.
So I brought up the commercial, and as I try to remember, I now remember what that commercial was all about. It was actually a some kind of AIDS medication, preventive something. Mm-hmm. With two guys.
I thought that's where we were going with it.
Just actually,
the Bits Harvey commercials.
Yeah, that's the commercial.
Yeah. They only put those on black networks.
How about that?
With black actors.
Yep.
Now I didn't think about that. Is that right?
Yep.
I haven't seen it on ABC. I ain't seen it on. I ain't seen it on
Now
NBC.
they didn't even put that two and two.
Well, now you're gonna have me looking for it now.
They put
one
them
thing to
on.
me about the Konversations was the fact that, like you say, they are on regular TV and they all have black actors in it. When the AIDS epidemic first started, it was supposed to be amongst the gay whites it was running through so bad.
No.
But now they try to put it in our face as if it's not only is being gay is okay and it's great, your lifestyle's your lifestyle, but they try to let you know how deep it is in the black culture.
Wow.
Yeah, you got me with that one.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on that? On the commercial and even the background behind it?
I think that it is subliminal. I think that it is on purpose. I think that you're absolutely correct that it is, in fact, mostly on the black channels, on purpose with the black actors, things of this nature. The way that they position things on television, where they're putting it at, absolutely. They're trying to almost suggest that it is prevalent more in the black community than it is elsewhere, or that maybe the origin maybe it has something to do with us even.
They're trying to normalize certain things, but when you have a group of strong-minded, critical thinking, balanced, educated folk, and education ain't always school. Education is wisdom. It's the wherewithal. It's the bandwidth that that you naturally increase. As you get older. We know that's some shit. We know that, and that's why we have to constantly this isn't just something that you just attack one time. Like this, we're in it forever now. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have to constantly battle this until we can unify on some sort of level and do. I don't know whether or not we're gonna do group economics. Y'all gonna do a susu and get y'all a real network or something. You know what I'm saying? But until we own this stuff, we're going to have these conversations continuously. But when we own it, we got to make sure that we're doing right by the ownership and creating the content.
You better make sure you got a clean background, because the last person tried to own a major network, they locked him up.
But it's the chicken and the egg syndrome. You say own it, but then who's watching it? So it's almost like the way they boycott the bus. We never owned the bus. We've never owned the bus company, but we did have to boycott them to get their attention. So the same concept. We could, in fact, boycott what we're watching, and how you were saying earlier, what you let into your eye gate, what you let into your ear gate, what you're letting in your home. And we don't have to let this stuff in. I personally, I'm a weirdo. I have not had cable since 2011. Just haven't.
Right?
Since that's right.
I know
that's
a lot
right.
of people like
You got a lot of money.
And I do all right. I seen the difference in my savings.
Cost of cable is like $4,000 a year.
Probably saw it on
I
a
seen
streaming
a
service,
difference in my
They
savings.
pay like $300 a month, $400 a month.
I seen a difference in my savings. I really did. But
Look, you paying $5,000 a month, $5,000 a year for cable.
Money. I agree.
Oh yeah, I know you are ESPN West.
Hey, man.
Why 7 states?
Dude, here got 9 TV. Each one of them got their own cable box.
But it is boycotting sometimes. It's discontinuing the watching of certain things and watching their ratings go down and giving them, allowing them to know that we're serious in that way. We don't have to own it, but we cannot watch it.
Why we can't own it? Like I'm about excellence. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, she's saying we can.
Absolutely, but I'm saying immediate.
The other option is, now speaking of that, because you wasn't here when I did this.
Okay.
Playing devil's advocate. Somebody argues that this content is here, and now I'm talking about the homosexual part of it.
Okay.
This content is here to give boys, to enlighten boys, and also let them know that there's choices that they can take in their life in regards to their sexual lifestyle. Mm-hmm. What would you say if somebody came with that argument?
Well, I don't think it's just boys. I think that it's I mean, I know that I'm sitting here with all men, but and unfortunately, we don't say much about it being females as well.
Right.
But
we talk about that too.
It's females as well. It's not just males, because unfortunately, when it's females, it's more acceptable. Mm-hmm. You know, it just seems to be more acceptable. No, it's not acceptable. You know, I don't want my daughter running around here looking like my son. You know, I want grandkids. I want, you know. So that being said. You know, it is very, very. It's on both sides. I think that they're after both the male and the female child, and unfortunately, there's a lot of confusion. I think the sexual confusion is trendy. I think that it's trendy to. We were speaking earlier when I was teaching high school. It's trendy to have a wife, for a girl to have a wife. It's trendy to have, they call it best friend. Hey, best friend, my best friend, and all of these types of things. And best friend ain't just plain old friends anymore. Exactly. These types of things. So it's trendy almost to be homosexual. Or what they're saying now is try it. At least just try it. And if you try it, that doesn't make you gay. You just try something.
White people are dying out. Let's just say it.
And the thing
let's
is,
just say it. White folks.
And see,
are
the
dying
thing
out.
is, like with men, at least most of the men that I've known in my life, if you ask them if you know a guy that's ever had a sexual encounter with another man, only once.
Gay.
Does that make him gay, or did he just try it? No, he's gay. Now, with women,
we still feel that way.
But with women,
ain't that changed?
We still
if you ask, you're right, exactly. But with women, if you ask if a woman has had, as you see on TV, when I was in college, I tried it.
Right.
She's either bi or she just tried it once. And it's crazy that it's that way. I've always said that it's more acceptable with women, and I'm not talking about, man, I don't want to say the wrong word.
And it is because men, we like to hear when a woman say they tried it.
Yeah.
Just be honest.
Real talk. I mean, but with women, we're not talking about, and we're not talking about the, like you were saying, the women that's walking around, looking like a dude. We're talking about women
that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to say the word that I was going to say, because I was going to say some old stuff like that. Smile at me, saying,
you can say it.
Bull that. That's what I was about to say.
My mom used to say that back in the day.
I'm showing my age now. Showing my age, but it's more acceptable when you look at a woman that's dressed like a woman and said that she's had a sexual encounter with another woman that dresses herself like a woman, than it is to look at a man and say that he had a sexual encounter with a man that dresses like a man. I've always said it's more acceptable because with men, it's a brutal act.
He said a brutal act.
It is a brutal act. It's a brutal, mustache on mustache.
Red card.
It's a brutal act. When you think about it, it is a brutal act. With women, you think of it being soft touches and sensual and kisses. You know what I'm saying? But when you think of two men, I can't. When we looking at TV, when you looking at the commercial, and you see them men get ready to kiss. What do? You look away from them.
And I thought I was gonna get hate mail.
But if you see two women kiss, women don't turn their head when
I don't even eat at Arby's, so I don't want no vagina. No.
What? Arby's.
No.
Look, you gotta have a strong imagination. You said Arby's?
Yeah, no.
God, I wouldn't look. Look, I would never.
Now y'all got maybe an advantage over me because I don't find it. I think that is a violent act as well. I find it to be. I think that it would be like licking batteries.
We don't even like the physical that we batteries. Have to take. We have to take it. And look, that's with a finger. You think? Yeah, bruh, it's a brutal act when you think about it. So I think this is why, it seems to be more accepted.
He died laughing over there.
It's a little more accepted it's a little more accepted. When you actually think about it, sometimes, hey man, they might be more man than we are because we ain't get ready to do that.
Oh Lord have mercy.
It might be okay. So,
hey man,
we're gonna try to get back on the rails. Let's get back on the rails. Now, I had mentioned something earlier. It may have gotten lost in the ether, but
hey man, what's that beeping?
There was a
fire. Okay.
There was a report that came out some years ago, and it was just talking about how, you know, essentially white people they're having a hard time reproducing. As a matter of fact, in some Danish country, they were actually having to pay women to have babies. You know what I mean? A lot of the immigration issues, you know what I mean, is centered simply around the fact that, you know, you get some people that come here and they just multiply. You know what I mean? Like, melanated people are highly fertile. And when you start to push certain agendas that allow it, you know what I'm saying, that are obviously, you know what I'm saying, that obviously don't result in reproduction, yeah, they're definitely going to go for that. You know what I mean? Because what's this, 2020? So let's say about next 15, 20, 30 years, you know what I mean? Like the whole demographical makeup of the country is going to look drastically different. So we are under attack. And I know it's cool to have these conversations, you know what I mean? It's cool to break it down from an anthropological standpoint. But at the end of the day, I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I was raised by Dungeon Family all day long, but when he noticed, I look, I got on my Andre shirt right now. But when Goody Mob had the song, he was like, we're fighting for our spirit and our minds. We have to come at it from that standpoint. So they're attacking us. They want us to be confused. They want us to make decisions that will lead to trauma. That will lead to a certain level of psychosis that will take you a long time to recover from. And by the time you do, you've damaged your life, you've damaged the life of the members in your community. You basically disregarded what you've learned and what's been instilled in you from your elders and your ancestors. And then you don't have anything to propel you moving forward, to sustain you in this next transfer and shift in wealth and culture. So we can, you know what I'm saying, we can try to be, you know what I'm saying, we can like the one brother was saying, we're tap dancing around the issue. The issue is that we're being targeted because we are special. Because there is something magical about the melanin that we all possess in our, you know what I'm saying, in our DNA. And if we don't take control of that and really, really try to seek ownership and try, you know what I'm saying, and try to have some real standards, you know what I'm saying, some, you know what I'm saying, let's reestablish some norms, customs, and traditions that are going to take us well into the 21st century and not always have us on the back end. Like, we always miss the boat with so much stuff. You know what I mean? So when you don't, you know what I'm saying, when you don't have power economically, when you don't have power politically, when you don't have power in the education system, when you don't have power in healthcare, you're going to always be lagging behind trying to figure out how to scrap up morsels to make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's create some meals. It's not going to work for everybody. And I'm not talking about the talented 10th and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But humans are humans. Nothing can trump the human condition. But we need a collective consciousness moving forward with a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Because some of these conversations, we can't get anywhere because they immediately become adversarial, because that's the design of it. The design of it is to keep us arguing over things that we can simply agree to disagree, but still have a foundation ideology that will push us forward. Like, I ain't got to agree with it, but I can still respect you and love you as my, you know what I'm saying, my black brother or sister. But I'm not going to contribute to the degradation of it either, though.
But do we not have the power, or we don't just use the power?
I was thinking about that.
Because we have a lot of powerful people who have a lot of money and can do all kinds of, and make all kinds of change. I mean, Oprah has her own network, but she still chooses to put what she wants on there. I mean, and some of those things are
they up there.
And some of those things are still some of the things that we're seeing.
So why don't we have 30 Oprahs?
Well, I can't answer that question. I mean, I don't know we have 30 billionaires that, you know what I mean. But
it's food for thought. They don't necessarily have to be billionaires, but we need to have a lot of people with a continuous stream of thought, like a connected consciousness. we can't always just rely on one person. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the Barack Obama paradox.
We're not relying on one, but I'm just saying if you wanted to make if there was a change, what I'm saying is you're seeing the same type shows.
You are.
You know what I'm saying? You're seeing the same
because
type.
when you only have one, it's easier for that one to be manipulated, pushed, and pulled.
So that one is being manipulated as well, is what you're saying.
She owns it. Now, wait. So now you were saying let's own. She owns.
That's what I'm saying. She owns.
She owns.
She owns.
And you're saying that she
network, yeah,
so she owns it and she's being manipulated. So is owning not the answer now?
It's if it's just one.
But I'm saying you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And we started with her, and then it's almost like we stopped.
But what I'm saying is, it's the same type shows, it's the same type dialogue, and then you have, and she was side with Tyler Perry, and I mean, and most of the shows. But when you watch that network, it's still there's no difference. So I'm saying you have that one in power. So if it was as simple as that, I guess I'm saying, you know what I mean? Why wouldn't that be? Why wouldn't she have done it? Or is that what we're we're just already far gone? We're concerned
the operative word that you both used was choice.
Magic
choice. That is the network, power. The power is in the choice.
We're talking about a network, a media outlet, something.
Right. So
Magic owns the media network.
Choice is coming. The power that the choices that they're making to put out what they're putting out over the airways. It's the choices of the people that what they're choosing to watch, what they're going to take.
What they're watching was being presented to them.
And then if who's being targeted, what population? Do you feel like Oprah is really targeting us? Like we're counting her. You're saying, oh, we got one, we have one, but is she really targeting the black? Do you feel like population?
Absolutely. I mean, just watching the show, I don't watch a lot of shows on that network, but the ones I watch are more of the Tyler Perry shows. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying
she don't like straight black men, so she don't make content for us.
And what media outlet does Magic own?
He owns the Inspired Network. He owns the
Inspired.
The other TV show that plays on the black.
Oh, Bounce. Aspire and Bounce. Bounce. Yeah. Yes, I think he owns Bounce. Yeah, I don't have that channel. I think but
you got to catch that with with a coat hanger. You can't have cable with that.
Yeah, Bounce.
You can't have cable. I still try to find it.
I watch it all the time.
Bounce on the fire. Bounce on the fire stick. He's on the fire stick.
Bounce is on channel 36.4.
I watch it all the time.
Your remote control ain't even got no decimal point to find.
I'm just saying. I mean, you have somebody that owns something, and I guess.
Byron Allen owns the largest digital network in
that's my
in the United States.
He lost that lawsuit against Comcast,
but he still owns one.
He lost a lawsuit for him try to get on
Netflix.
for commercials and stuff like that. But he still owns the largest digital network in the United States.
And what's on
there? Huh?
What's on the network that's
Byron watches?
Yeah, what's on that network? Weather Channel.
So his digital studio produces a lot of shows.
Right.
So he owns entertainment studios, and you see him all late night. But he has several different things that are on other cable channels, like what's that?
All the judge shows. All the judge shows.
They're filming. Yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
All right, my folks who when I say for black couples, they gave me a few of them. Now I want to know: are there any positive black couples on the OWN network? I like to know that.
No,
on all those TV shows.
Like straight black men.
Nope, she don't like straight black men.
She don't.
Nope.
She does not.
Power couples though.
No, I don't.
That does not fit her narrative.
On the OWN network.
I'm going to go ahead and take her up for her defense here. I'm going to say
it's okay for her to be criticized without defense.
It's a gradual. Right now. It's a gradual thing. I think that our people don't even realize it's a gradual process. I think Oprah is she's counted in that as well. If you don't see what's happening slowly, then you don't realize that it's happening slowly. You know, even with the homosexuality we were talking about, and I mentioned the skinny jeans. You know, the people don't throw the skinny jeans on or what have you. They don't feel like that it has any association, or like the sporting the sag. They don't feel like that has the association.
Did you see the shot lights and the dramatics and the Isley Brothers in the previous generation? Did you see the way they dressed? Did you see the way Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and did you see the way they dressed?
A skinny jean is not a slack.
I'm asking you, did you? I'm asking you.
You know what I mean? Slacks. You know what I'm saying? Come on, those were slacks. Those was polyester slacks.
Did you see the video for the message?
I answered your question. I showed enough.
I
saw the polyester slacks. Those were
the tight leather pants that they were wearing.
Those were leisure suits. Oh. I might still own one. No, I'm just putting that. They were leisure suits, and those was
stuff back in the early '70s. Don't try to act like they didn't. They were some gay-looking guys in the early days too. A lot. If you want to be technical, there's a lot of gay stuff in the roots of hip hop.
Everything that, like I said, with
but
fashion,
they sure wore their
everything
belts.
goes
I'll
in
tell
full
you
circle.
this.
Everything
But what I'm
goes in
saying
full
is,
circle.
the gradual process is what I was discussing. Is that what happens? Even with Oprah and things like, if you slowly start to appease and try to appease, you don't realize that that's happening. You don't know that you're starting to be removed from your own people. You don't know that
that's
mostly
why she denounced Harvey Weinstein. Is that why?
Well, you don't know that I just know when she has like her great conventions and things like that or whatever. When you look out into the sea of people, I know you don't see a lot of brown faces.
No, you don't.
No. You don't.
They're not gonna pay
You don't. There's something wrong with that, and there's something wrong with when you take a bulk of your money to Africa.
But I like
when we have issues here. We got hoods here. We got needs here.
That's almost like an unwritten or unspoken social contract that they have. A lot of our affluent, prominent, wealthy people. That's why LeBron is to be praised at every juncture, because he did it here in America. A lot of these folks go to Africa. Everybody going to Africa to take everything from Africa.
But you know, like the building of the schools and the building of the communities, they absolutely need it, certainly. But we need it. These young people here need it still, right here. So that is where the appeasing of other races and turning your back on your own and not paying attention. It's a gradual process. It's nothing that happens right away.
So do you see change? You say it's a gradual process.
Absolutely.
You seen
Absolutely. I see us having a black female president in about 5 minutes. I mean, the man done fell down and, bless his heart. You know what I mean? But, I don't see him making it a whole 4 years. I don't mean to, Lord forgive me, I don't mean to wish nothing bad on nobody, but, I don't see him making it 4 years, more or less,
these
8 years.
Be living for a long time. They get the remedy. They get the antidote. They don't, hell, H.W. Bush, he's still alive.
Yeah, President Harrison. You know what I mean? Like we about to have.
He's still alive. That man, his liver spots, is growing.
But absolutely,
ain't going nowhere.
I think there is an opportunity for change, and it's bigger than just black, white. I think it's opening our mind. As I sit here, I'm still a female I don't make my full dollar for every dollar y'all make, per hour you work, you don't make the full dollar either as the black man. I'm making about 80.
You still got a higher employment rate than black men, though.
Okay, well, it all depends on where.
It's in America?
It depends where, if you're talking about employment rate behind the jail cell bars, you know what I mean? Well, there's employment there too. And exactly, and ain't nobody put you there. So, there's a lot of things that, there's a lot of parts to that. There's a lot of parts to that. So, like, it's not a matter of us just being black and white. It's also male and female as well, because the female needs the male. The male needs the female. We need each other,
but all skin folks ain't kinfolk.
Say it again.
All skin folks is not kinfolk.
Oh.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah.
No argument there.
Not at all.
He said what?
I said all kinfolks are not kinfolks.
Folks, that's right. That's right.
But listen, you agreeing to that now, but I'm saying that in disagreeing to what you were saying about your first black female president, because Kamala Harris identifies as black, but she's not black.
You want to talk about who put you there? Kamala put you there. Kamala locked up a lot of brothers in California.
Let me tell you something. If the brother did wrong,
that's a whole other argument.
You go.
We don't have enough time for that argument.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again. We'll do that again. But every time somebody go at every time somebody go at her for that, I'm like, what was she supposed to do? Not they broke the law.
Don't start.
So we ain't gonna start it. We ain't gonna start it. We're gonna make
that conversation can go all night.
Right.
That 2021. We're gonna bring that back up. 2021.
We'll bring that back.
But let me ask y'all this: do you think that because the alphabet community can't say all them letters, because it's become such a big community, because as you said, it's become almost a fad to go ahead and come out and be as gay as you want to be now, and because that community is so big, they're almost as powerful as Peter, you know. Do you think that you think that a lot of this is aimed at them to get their viewership?
I definitely think that. I believe that a lot of
people, tail wagging the dog.
Yeah, tail wagging the dog. You're right. Cause a lot of, I mean, if you look at Hollywood over the years, if you look at some of these old movies and shows and hear some of the backstories, you find out, you know, when they talk about the casting couch. Well, that casting couch wasn't just for females.
Come on.
That casting couch was for both. You know what I mean?
Come on.
So they've been taking advantage of folks. So that, in other words, so that means they were already on that side, but they were behind closed doors. You know what I mean? A lot of them jokers had just show wives. They weren't really married. They just had show wives. You know what I mean? But they were really, they were really on the other side, and they were, like I said, that casting couch. So now that it's more accepted. That's why you said the Lee Daniel situation, for example. You know what I mean? The reason why all those characters in there, yeah, he is, but it's just so widely accepted because of the ABC community. You know what I mean? They've, the power of them. So now they say, well, we'll do what we want to do. We'll show you what we want to show you.
There's rappers now, that's all into the homosexuality.
Well, I know one in particular, but I mean, most of them are still behind closed doors because they'll get ridiculed. But just like most of the athletes, they'll come out, but they won't do it while they're still playing the sport. You know what I mean? Because
they'll do it afterwards.
They'll do it afterwards. But
now, even the country road, I'm gonna take my horse.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
Right, but the way he did it. Now, he could have came out first and then presented his music and things. He purposely, he would have never ever made it. He did that on purpose.
Ocean did it.
He was already there.
He was
already out there.
Frank Ocean had came out right before Channel Orange, because there were some songs on Channel Orange that were, that were pronoun specific to a man, and he came out and said that he had a relationship with a man. That was right before he blew like Channel.
But he already had a deal. He was already in place when he came out. Yeah. He was already. You wouldn't even know Frank Ocean without that.
Yeah. If Frank Ocean had a boyfriend on Instagram, we never would have known who he was.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a boyfriend on Instagram before he had a song out, we'd have never known who Frank Ocean was. Like I said, he'd have been blackballed. Now I don't know. Well, as an R&B singer, a singer can do it. They can do it. Like I said, in hip hop, they can't. If they did it,
and I'm sure they would.
Oh, sure.
They put out and yet another TV show. What's the show? They was on Showtime. They were in a country town. You know what I'm talking about?
Talking about P Valley?
P Valley. They put that in P Valley.
Put that out there, boy. And there was a
lot. His name was Lil Murder.
There was a lot of hip hop artists sitting back going, these motherfuckers.
And he was murdering.
They done messed me up.
Murdering.
Like, because it won them awards, and then as soon as I started watching, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I already heard about it.
Why it won.
Yeah, you weren't paying attention. You missed that all. You missed that all together.
Yeah. Moonlight was exactly.
And
what it
again,
said.
I just back to the start of the conversation. I just think they force feeding. That's just my humble opinion. I just think it's you forcing it down the throat. You know what I mean? When and if you're gonna have those scenes, why
And so, do you think
they're just more graphic? They're more graphic than the male female scene.
And do you think that they're forcing it in a way to, like I said, to appease the alphabet community?
I don't even know what's more.
I think they let you see something that you don't see. You just don't see it. It's happening like that everywhere.
I mean, we know that, but
we
already we okay with it happening wherever it happened. I don't want to sit on my TV screen.
Not every show.
And it's like
every show.
Now, I'll tell you something. One of my dreams is to get on one of Tyler Perry shows because everybody get up there, you play your cards right, you end up on another show that's bigger and better. You be on one of the major networks. I've seen it happen
over and over again.
And I'm looking at people on the Tyler Perry show, looking at them like, man, he's horrible. Then 3 months later, he on Law and Order looked like a totally different actor. Like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah. So I want to get up there, but I'm gonna tell you something.
It took him. He's gonna make you put a dress on.
No. His scenes.
Who was the first one to do it? Who was the first one to put on a dress?
Flip Wilson.
Okay.
Flip Wilson right down hard in the cigar.
His scenes, man.
Flip Wilson.
I mean, the scenes in Tyler Perry's, ooh. I mean, he don't cast nobody. I probably never get casted because you got to be. I mean, you
be careful, JT. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. Don't blow it.
You got.
Yeah, don't blow it. We all see you.
We want to see it. JT, we want to see it. Write a note. I'll say it for you.
You like the boondocks.
I ain't cut up like they cut up. Them dudes, man, they cut up like. I mean, it's crazy the way they. I'm like, man, does he go into the gym and hire people? There's nobody up there that does not have a 6 or 12 pack. All of them.
Nita said a million little things had 11-year-old.
Sure did. It does.
11-year-old gay kid.
Yeah, a little girl.
She said that when she started watching the show. I mean,
it's a little boy. That's a little boy. It's a little boy that's being a little girl on the show. Because, like I said, my wife looks at it. I got in trouble the other night because I asked her a question during the damn show. But the little girl was talking, and she was like, "That's a little boy." I said, "What?" It's a little boy, but he goes as a little girl. And they also, if I remember, if that's one of the shows, they have a gay couple on their show also. Another one of them shows that she look at has a gay couple. I forgot the name of that one. She looks at a couple of them shows like that, but yeah, it has a little 11-year-old boy that is passing as a girl. Is it a girl passing? I can't remember which one. Either way, they dress the other way.
Really?
And passes that
they
way.
Went all the way with it.
All the way. The parents called, treat them in that sexual manner, the whole nine. All of it. Every last bit of it.
What do you think about that? Parents that are allowing their children to pick and decide of their own.
At that age, you're too young.
At that age, yeah.
Too young. You don't know what you want.
Right.
At 11 years old.
I had a friend of mine call me one time. She called me back at the time I was coaching football, and she called me asking me if she could bring her son to our school to play. And where I was coaching in Smyrna, she lived in College Park. But she wanted to get him out into football because she felt he was gay. And he was a big kid, man. He was like 14, and he was like 6'1", probably 220, 230. You know, he wasn't built or nothing, but he was a big kid. And so she felt football was going to be his way. And I said, I don't know about that, you know, because I coach at a middle school, so I don't know about the zoning and all that type stuff or whatever. Well, it ended up, you know, when she found out that he really was gay, I mean, she was like, you know, I've always been one of the parents that's always said, if my child told me that he was gay, I would accept it. She said she was that parent until her child told her
until he came and said it.
And, you know, it makes you think, well, like, you know, I say that I would accept it. I mean, you would have to, but boy, that's a rough pill to swallow. you know, if your son walk up to you and tell you that he's gay, I ain't got no daughter. I only have a stepdaughter, but at the time I was only thinking about my son, and I was like, wow, that would be rough. And I would think that I would accept it, but man, that has to be hard.
You got all the stories in the Bible.
Did she ask him whether or not that behavior was introduced to him?
I don't think she didn't tell me get into that deep. I just told, you know, she can call me and talk whenever she wanted to. You know, I said, you know, if you want,
what are you trying to say?
I'll try and
somebody fiddling around with that boy at a young age.
Now, see, that's what I'm asking. And I was going to get
because a lot of that is going on in our community, men and women.
I was going to get to that we're going to have that show. We're going to have that show.
But I just wanted to.
We're going to have that show next year because I had a conversation with some gay guys. We're going to have that show. Are you born gay or were you motivated by a sexual act to become gay?
Let's not even say motivated.
We're going to change that word before the time of the show. Motivated ain't the right word. But
motivated ain't the right one? Okay.
Yeah.
Were you molested?
Because I've heard those same conversations.
You know, pushed.
I spoke to somebody the other day about that.
Sometimes you might not be molested. You know, it might not be a molestation. It could have been of age and they decided to do it.
How many lesbian women you know that got like 2-3 kids?
Women just say that they tired of guys.
I actually called him. I was in Vegas. I called him because I'm sitting there talking to this dude. And I said, man, would you be on our show? He was like, yeah, I would. He was a virgin, got married, never had sex until he got married to a woman, had a child. One day he was on his way home from church. He was living in New York. He said he was standing at the top of the subway before he walked down the steps, pulled his cell phone out, called his sister and said, I'm tired, I'm coming out. He was not molested, no sex with either sex until he got married. He had sex with his wife, had a child. Then he said, you know what, I've been gay all my life. So he says he was born gay. Now, we ain't going to go into it tonight.
I'm about to say, boy, yeah.
We ain't going to go into it tonight, but that is going to be one of our shows.
If she had that WAP, he wouldn't have. I'm just playing.
That W could mean a couple of things.
I was about to say it may have been whack.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm trying to say, man. If she would have.
Jerry, you about to say something a minute ago. What you about to say, bro?
She motivated him.
Must have been.
He was like, I ain't doing this again.
That's
this
all
was
I was
horrible.
thinking. Like, oh no.
Hey, what you about to say, Jerry?
No. The thing about this, I have to wait till next year.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be. That's nah. We're just gonna wait for that one.
We'll wait for that one. That might be a series.
Yeah, it might be a series. That ain't gonna be one show. Say what now?
The graduate need that y'all was talking about, as far as like the feminists of the men, you know, the skinny jean thing, you know, like true to the fact that there was way back in the 70s, they was doing it real hella bad. But in our generation, when they started to accept the SAG and went to the extreme with the SAG, the Asian designers and the gay designers that was in fashion brought in the skinny jeans with the Asian cuts to them, because now, you know, your 2X and your 3X, they really just, you know, extra larger than larger. You know what I'm saying? Like, they cut for Asian people, but they implemented the SAG into the skinny jeans. The gayness started to come in with the exception of certain things. So as a designer, who are always controlling all of our fashion things and our shows that we're watching, help grab a hold to the attention of the vulnerable man at the time.
Yeah, the whole skinny jean
at a young age.
Man, that's
gotcha.
If ain't nobody ever told you, you look like a real dumbass with your pants hanging all the way down.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. If ain't nobody else gonna say, you like a real dumbass.
And it kills me when you have on skinny jeans. They're not sagging. Let me change. They're not sagging. They're pulled below your butt. And then on top of that, you have on a pair of shorts and a pair of boxers because you can see everything, you know. And I'm like, you know, if you didn't put all them on, you probably could pull your pants up. You got to walk wide-legged to keep them up. I'm not gonna mess with these guys.
The worst fad in clothing history.
Yeah, so let's come back to that. Is what are you looking at my ass for? And my bro, why is your ass out?
Right.
Why is your ass looking at me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, basically.
Yeah.
But I'm a moonwalk a little bit because I know this is next year's show, but something else to touch on next year's show is with a lot of the lesbian women that have like the multiple children and things like that, they start out straight women and they were like straight for 30 years of their life, or 26 years of their life, or 30. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah. They'll be 30 years of their life, 32 years of their life, but then they had 2-3 kids by 2-3 different dads, and they've been through a lot of stuff. Been hurt by this one, hurt by that one, trauma.
They've been hurt by their own choices that they made in their life.
Well, they've been hurt by the person that they chose. They've been hurt by the person that they chose, and that being here nor there, the point is they then choose each other. They choose each other, and I've seen this time and time again in working with welfare department and working with single mothers and things. I even tease the moms sometimes, you know, because they'll go there and say, "Oh, Miss Cruz, I don't want nothing else to do with no man. Can't no man do nothing for me." And then 6 months later, they come in my office with a big old stomach, big old belly, and I'm like, "Oh, I thought a man couldn't do nothing for you. Oh, I thought you wasn't looking his way no more. What happened? Somebody got it. You know what I mean? Somebody came your way." So it is, in fact, a lot of the lesbian women that are hurt. A lot of hurt. They're not choosing this. They were not born this way, and they were not choosing to be this way. It is due to poor choices in their lifestyle and their lives, and then trauma that they've experienced, that they choose each other. You know, these are like, instead of just being friends, they decide to be.
But it's still a choice.
This gonna piss some folks off, but that trauma comes from
it's still a choice.
Same gender, because when that young lady was trying to go to her mom and say that somebody was bothering her. And the mom chose the other person that she was dating.
What about no? It is where's dad? That's where that trauma comes in. So when dad was not there in the household, that's how she got messed up on how to pick who to pick. So then she picked the wrong baby daddy number 1. Then she picked wrong baby daddy number 2. Then she picked wrong baby daddy number 3. But she was picking all this time while she was picking baby daddies. She was really picking a daddy for herself. But she ended up, you understand? He just was trying to get in between them legs, but she was really just wanting a hug for herself. You understand? And he said, "I got that hug for you." You know what I mean? I got that hug for you. But the bottom line is that's a lot of daddies missing in the household, and then the breakdown. Daddies missing in the household, that affects young men and young ladies. That affects sons and daughters. And there go another part of your next year's show.
Yeah. Because, again, I don't know why JT brought it up. Knowing it was going to start some dialogue. There's no way around it. But, you know.
We're actually trying to cut our show down to an hour, 15 minutes. But again, tonight we did go 2 hours.
I was just about to say, this stuff like that is why Classic Conversations runs over its time every single time, because this thing gets, it gets interesting with and we get off topic and go somewhere else real quick. We try to bring it back in, but anyway, but like JT just said, I'm going to shout this out real quick, man. We're working on pretty soon, man. We're going to be hitting a lot of different platforms. We're going to be on Spotify. We're going to be on, what's it called? What's the Apple thing? Apple Music, there you go. So in order for us to get all that stuff done, we're going to have to start narrowing our show down a little bit more. So that's why we're trying to close out a little sooner, but we appreciate everybody's support because y'all are making this happen. So so let's not go off that topic any further, because we'll keep going.
Hey man, send us topics that you want. I'm hoping that you want to talk about them, but if you don't want to talk about it, just want to hear us talk about them, still send it to us. Again, we sometimes feel we have a panel up here, but we actually want our audience out there to actually chime in on this thing, man. Give us a telephone call. I mean, if you want to be seen, let us know beforehand. We can get you up on the screen also.
Right, we can send you the link. You can chime in right on there, wherever you at. Even you, Jerry, way up there in Minnesota, man.
Yes,
we can chime you on in.
We can get you right on in here.
You'd be like he right here with us.
All you got to do is put on a nice shirt. You ain't got to pull no pants. Get your own in. So yeah, we
also looking for sponsorship. People want to come sponsor the show, man. But we about to blow this thing up, man. What did we get nominated for, JT?
Hey, we got nominated for ATL's hottest online show. Next year, we plan on being nominated for a whole lot. We look for these sponsorships. Camu, give me a call. Boy, I've been showing a lot of people your stuff. Give me a telephone call, man. I'm gonna start putting y'all on my stories and Instagram. See if I can get y'all to send me a couple of bottles. So yeah, we're gonna make this thing a lot bigger next year.
MJ, you still on the phone? MJ, hang up.
I'm here, bro.
All right, Jaron, you got any closing remarks, brother?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. MJ still there? Well,
No, man.
Go ahead, Jaron. Any closing remarks?
No. Bro, I appreciate y'all covering the topics that y'all covering and staying diligent with y'all subjects. I enjoy listening to y'all on Tuesday nights. I'm looking forward to what y'all doing.
Appreciate that, brother, man. We really appreciate you tuning in, man. MJ, you still there?
Hey, is MJ Mr. Infected?
Is he what?
Yeah, that's it.
Is that the guy infected?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's him.
That's
yeah, that's that guy, Mr. Infected.
That's Mr. Infected.
That's hilarious. I want you to shout out the Pittsburgh Black Comedy. So tell us a little bit about it one more time, and where to follow you.
Pittsburgh Black Comedy Association. You can reach me, Ma EC, at MA space EC on Facebook or on Instagram, Ma EC at 1412. You can also reach us at PittsburghBlackComedyAssociation.com.
That's what's up. She did a show here at Uptown Comedy Corner about 3 weeks ago now?
Yes.
That's right. We're going to plan something else for 2021.
Wonderful.
Outstanding. Frap.
Thank you for having me on the panel.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming.
No doubt. Yes. Told you when you came up here last time. Come on back.
She flew on down Pittsburgh. Said she was in town. So
I want to come back.
Come back.
We're definitely going to bring you back.
Anytime you're in town, just stop on in.
Man, great show, man. Appreciate it. You didn't think I was gonna pull up?
Nah, what you know?
You didn't think I was gonna pull up, man? You think man, bro? I checked the traffic and everything, cause you know I leave an hour early and still show up 15 minutes late, looking bad. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
True story.
But nah, man, definitely appreciate it. Excellent content. You know what I'm saying? I love diversity of thought. You know what I'm saying? I love opposing ideas. You have to be open minded. You know what I'm saying? You have to be receptive to people's, you know what I'm saying, to people's ideologies and people's opinions. That's the only way you're gonna learn and get better, you know what I'm saying? So I think as long, you know what I'm saying, as long as we can keep that collective respect going, you know what I'm saying? Like this, I feel like this show is gonna really, really, really take off. So I'm just glad to be a part of at least just one show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start sneaking in.
Yeah, come on.
Y'all gonna start coming on, be right there.
Y'all see these microphones here, man.
Come on in.
Right there.
I gotta ask you something now.
Yes, sir.
You hiding from somebody?
Nah.
You want?
He always had glasses
let
on.
people see
Nah,
you.
see.
He been in the barbershop with the glasses on.
He been known me so long.
He was sitting there. I was like, man, is my shades in my bag? I was about, I didn't want.
This has always been a part of my thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just always been a part of my thing.
If
it wasn't so hot, I had my hood on. I'll really be in here just chilling. You know what I mean?
No doubt, man.
That's another conversation, another subject, but we ain't gonna bring it up tonight because we'll get talking again.
We can talk all camera.
The whole hoodie thing. Yeah, we gonna talk about that. That's all commercial. That wasn't sexual. That talked about that.
Appreciate you coming out though, B-Law. Real talk,
man. Appreciate you having me, man.
Anytime, brother. Anytime.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna shout out my thing for JT close out, man. Early voting has started on Monday. All right. Early voting goes to December 31st. So there's no excuses. Don't want to wait in that long line on January 5th? Well, start now, folks.
That's right.
Go and get it out the way. There's been different things. Some folks said we're in and out. You in and out 10 minutes. Yeah, look, don't go to the same place you always go to. You know, look up. All different spots is open.
That's right.
But we can't make up these excuses of why we're not voting. You know what I mean? We can't say it don't work. We've seen it. You know what I mean? We've seen it full effect in our eyes, in front of us. If all these years, if you've never seen it before, if you've never seen the power of voting before, we just witnessed it.
Facts.
We just witnessed it.
Come
you
on.
can't say it don't work no more. You witnessed it firsthand. Now we got a chance to actually make real change. You got a chance to turn this state completely blue. You got a chance to get 2 people out of office who have. Give me a little sip of that for you. Yeah. Before you.
Voting is important, but
voting is important.
Let me get some of that.
Yeah, it looked like we're gonna pour it all. And I was waiting for him to open it up.
Hey man, that's a hell of a way to end the show right there, man.
It's classic,
vote,
baby. We classic
I
in
need
here.
that Canada Dry.
Hey, but vote, vote, and I'm gonna say it one more time. Vote. It's that time, folks.
Indeed.
Hey, well, for the record, man, anytime you can open up anything I have to drink up here first, as long as I ain't got no potato chips. If my potato chips up here,
That's all.
I got to open them up first.
No doubt.
Let me get the first chip. I got to get the first chip. You
appreciate
get the first sip, but I got to get the first chip.
How rate? I can't help
That's
it.
right.
I gotta ask.
But yo, as my partner here just said, man, this voting thing, I'm gonna say that me and Angelo will have our stickers next week. We're gonna have them by next week.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have our stickers by next week, and we're gonna show them to y'all just like we did the last time. It just so happened we didn't even plan it. We just happened to come up. Both of us had our sticker, so we're gonna do it again. So we are asking you, do not wait to January 5th because, you know, then excuses are gonna come. It was New Year's Eve, and I was trying to party within COVID. It was hard for me to do it, and I kind of forgot about it. Started looking at the national championship game and all of this and all that. No. Get on out there and get it done. I'm saying get out there and get it done before Christmas, man. Go ahead and get that thing done. Like I said, it's in and out. And you don't have to go to your, you don't have to go in, you have to go in your county, right? You have to go in your county. So if you're out running errands, you know, and all of a sudden you recognize you done finished stuff a little early, you know, pull it up, Google, and go and find it. Go and find it, man. Cobb County, Epicenter. It is, I mean, it's in and out. And while you're there, once you come out, go right on the other end of the parking lot. Get your free COVID test. Go ahead and get that done, man. It's right there. I'm doing it. I'm telling you, go and get it done. My closing remarks are, again, as I said last week, you know, make sure that you hug on people. Make sure that you let people know that you love them.
And then go get a COVID test.
If you don't, if you don't love them, just tell them that you got love for them. But, you know, make sure that you let people know. Another great show. Like I said, 2021, man, we're going to up this thing up. We're going to have some really, really good content. Anybody out there, I hope you weren't offended because we wasn't trying to offend you. You know, again, what you do is what you do. What I'm doing is what I'm doing. We just can't mix it because it's two different things. So you ain't got to push it on me. And man, you got me thinking about the show, those commercials only being on certain channels.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be looking for that.
I got to. Wow, that's really
That
got
caught
me.
my attention too.
Yeah. I'm gonna be up tonight
Because I watch those channels more than anything else. It gotta be right.
You're gonna,
That's really what I want.
You gotta go home.
All them black athletes, you don't see no Big Target commercial on ESPN. They ain't played on the Steelers game, did they?
No.
Hey.
No, he
You know what?
They know what it is.
Hey, Lions. You
talk.
y'all ain't got no running game.
You ought to beat my man up enough. Y'all done beat him up enough. So we're gonna leave him alone for a little while. We're gonna leave him. Who y'all play this week?
We got Cincinnati Monday night.
Okay, y'all lose the streak. It better not keep going. If y'all lose the streak, keep going this week.
If we lose this week, we're in trouble.
There's some problems. There are more problems than we know of. But anyway, getting closed out, man. We're gonna have a sports show soon, so y'all get ready for that.
Go Steelers.
That's gonna be a lot of fun, especially with basketball getting started back up. Trying to figure out how they're gonna do this thing without being in a bubble. They're gonna be in what's called traveling bubbles. And we see how that's worked with football, college football especially. So,
hey, real quick, man, I want to say one more time about this voting thing because it's something my uncle posted today. He sent me, and he said Keisha Lance Bottom was going off about the number of people in Atlanta that didn't vote, and the number was astonishing. And there's just no excuse for that stuff, man. And so, black folks in particular, you guys, don't let them, don't support this narrative that we don't go back to runoff elections. 80-something million people voted. We got to duplicate those numbers from Atlanta, from a Georgia standpoint. We have to get back out there. The narrative is we don't go back to vote. Not them, but us. Got to get back out there and vote again, man. Do your due diligence. But I just want to put it out one more time. Go ahead.
Yeah, because these commercials, they trying to beat my man up, boy. They messing with my man.
Radical liberal.
They messing with him hard.
Kamala, whatever. And I'm actually canvassing right now, so I should have said something about voting. I'm just exhausted. Everybody's exhausted. I'm going to vote. I've been voting since I was 18, but I'm going to vote.
Yeah.
Go on out there and vote, man. State Farm Arena. They got it down there. Shit empty.
Right.
Go on down there. You be in and out, man.
Get it done, man.
Be in and out in 11 minutes.
So yeah, that's another Tuesday. We will see y'all next Tuesday. Dwayne, you in town next week? Okay, yeah. So the show is on. We didn't know if we was gonna shut it down for the holidays. We might lighten it up a little bit about Christmas.
Oh, happy birthday, Ma EC.
Oh, I'm about to say
the 21st.
Okay.
What's up?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Solstice.
Happy birthday.
Sagittarius season.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So yeah, another Tuesday. We'll see y'all next week. That is a classic conversation, and we're out.
All
You
right.
dig?
Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We're grateful better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. We're grateful better days to live our lives and make a change. Feel the water flow. This is for the fire in your soul. In your soul, your soul, your soul.
Soul cleansing. Soul
Everybody
cleansing.
got problems. Everybody got problems. No matter which your soul.
Soul cleansing. Soul
That's why we
cleansing.
gotta call them. That's why we gotta call them. My spirit's so asshole.
Soul cleansing. Soul.
Nearly lost my soul, nearly lost my faith when I lost my brother. That's the day it went away, mama cried. So the granny did too, so lost, so hurt. I ain't know what to do, so I yell and I cuss up at God. Like why in the fuck? How could you do that? Bring that pain in my family, it's something we did. Tell me you mad at me, cause I can't deal. And it's hard to live without my brother, and it's hard to forgive, but still I pray.
Feel the